Hi, it's Pam from Ben McFuzzyLugs doing our daily March dog training tutorial, and today's on counter conditioning. If you look back at some of my other videos, like yesterday we talked about classical conditioning and clicker training, and in the past we've talked about rewards and punishments and lots of things like that. Today I just wanted to talk about how these kind of things can be put together in a really powerful way to help dogs with behavioural problems, and this is counter conditioning. And this is basically the art of pairing up something nice with something that might have been something they were fearful of in the past, so that the actual thing that they didn't like starts to become a pleasant experience for them. A lot of people get confused when they see someone possibly with a dog that has issues, is maybe scared of children or scared of other dogs, and they see them getting a treat and they ask, what on earth are you rewarding there? But they're missing the point. This is not rewarding a behaviour, this is classical conditioning, this is changing an emotion. So how this works is basically, the best way to describe this is, sorry if you don't like spiders, but I used spiders in the last video. If you're afraid of spiders and your friend says, let's go to this fab place but there's tons of spiders, you're going to feel pretty bad about it. If they just drag you in there, ooh, too much light. If they just drag you in to the place where all the spiders are, this would be considered flooding, and though you might get over it with time, your initial reaction is going to be absolute panic, and it's going to be very, very scary. So flooding is actually quite a cruel way to train a dog. Don't just force them into a situation they're scared of and hope that they deal with it. Occasionally some dogs will get past their fear, realise there's nothing to be scared of, and be fine, but quite often what will happen instead is they'll be in total terror, but if you've told them off enough, they won't have any way to tell you that they're unhappy, so they'll just kind of shut down. They'll be in total fear, but they'll put up with it, and that's not good enough because they still have all the feelings of fear, they're still panicking. So with you being taken into the spider enclosure, if instead of you being dragged right into the spider enclosure, you were taken out and there was someone holding a spider quite a long way away, enough that you were aware of it, but you knew you were totally safe, it was miles away, not a problem. As you saw the spider, your mate gave you a tenner, and then you just walked away, nothing bad happened. Then the next day they said, meet me here again. The next day you walked up, you saw the spider, you got a tenner. The end of the week, you're not going to be thinking, oh no, I've got to go and see the spiders, I'm terrified. You're going to be saying to yourself, fantastic, let's look for more spiders, this is fab. And that's kind of what you're looking to do with dogs. The important thing to consider is the thing that you're giving the dog has to be something they enjoy. So actually eating, taking a snack, is something that causes pleasure in the dog's brain. They enjoy eating. It's a primary reinforcer. It's something that you enjoy because you need it to survive. So food is a good thing. There are other options like playing with a toy or something else, but food's the easiest, so we'll just talk about food just now. So the actual act of eating food is a pleasant experience for the dog. So if you go think of our video yesterday about Pavlov and everything, that him actually ringing the bell and the dog was drooling, what was actually happening when the bell was rung? The dog wasn't just drooling and anticipating food, he was feeling the happiness and pleasure. Basically it was as if he was eating food. So if you pair up these things, if you can see the thing that the dog doesn't like in the distance and nothing bad happens, they're just aware of it. If they see it, you pair that with something good, you give them a snack for looking at that, and you leave with nothing bad happening, then your dog's going to start to anticipate that seeing this thing is something nice. There's a couple of ways you can mess up with this. If you see the thing in the distance before the dog and you give them the snack before they see it, and then you carry on until the dog reacts and starts to get nervous, what the dog's going to start doing is they're going to start associating the getting the treat with something bad's about to happen. So you give them a treat and they take it, and then they start looking around and going, oh, when's the bad thing coming? So the association's gone the wrong way. Quite often we do this without meaning to, is if you see something your dog's going to bark at, you'll put pressure on the lead. So the dog will start going, every time there's pressure on the lead, a horrible thing happens. So pressure on the lead has me looking at, where's this horrible thing going? So in that case, it's pairing up the things the wrong way round. The other thing, again, is just pushing the dog too hard. A lot of people will say, oh, well, my dog won't take treats when they're in this situation. It just simply means that you're too close, they're too stressed. So back to the spider example, if instead of it just being one spider miles away and totally safe, you were thrown into the spider enclosure with hundreds of them, and your friend said, here's the £50 note or something, it's unlikely that you would care about that. You would be too much going like, spider. So it's the same with the dog. If you've pushed them too hard, if they're too flooded, if they're shut down with fear, if they're too close to the thing they're scared of, all their focus is going to be on that. And then you're saying to them, here, take this tiny bit of kibble. The dog's like, no, I'll deal with that later. I've got this to deal with. So that won't work like that. So remember, basically the order, if you're counter conditioning your dog to something he's scared of, is he sees the bad thing, but he's not stressed by it. He's given something nice, and then he's taken away before he gets scared by it. So over time, you'll be able to make the distance closer and closer so that his distance where he's scared by the thing is much less. So thank you so much for joining me. If you've got any queries, questions, ideas or anything, please leave them in the comments below. Even if you disagree with me, I still like to hear your point of view. It's always good to learn from each other. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and come back tomorrow and see what we're talking about. Thank you.